It was good.
Well, we're tomorrow, so stick your head in on ours tomorrow.
Yeah, it should pop up. And Jay's not going to introduce himself because he's got a mask on right now. So, welcome to Jay's Live. On the panel today, we have Dr. Bob. We have the magnificent and super sexy Robbo. And we have Sarge. And then there's just me. So,
All right, Jay. Before you start, I don't see the live stream on YouTube.
it just started.
It just
I
started.
know, but I haven't even seen the.
It's only 46, 47 minutes, seconds in.
It'll kick in.
Yeah. OT. I was just checking so I get the pop up chat. Hello, Lewis.
I got it. It must be live.
Yep.
Hello,
Hello, Effie.
Hello, Effie. Good day, Lewis.
Hey, Lewis. Good day, Effie. I'm probably not going to be on here too long tonight. Just I had a heck of a day, so I'm going to probably head upstairs and go hang out in bed. So, but wanted to see what Mr. J is going to do.
Yeah, he's Lewis. He's putting resin on as a coating on a bowl.
There, it finally showed up on mine. I had to refresh my screen.
And Effie, I love you. I wish everybody would call me a boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's using it as a finish, Lewis. Unfortunately, he's got a dust mask on and everything, so he doesn't get high like I am at the moment. I've been spraying lacquers and things this morning, so I'll be very happy today.
Woohoo!
Yeah, he said he's experimenting with a new product for him.
Yeah.
And he wanted to see how it worked out with being able to do the surface of that plate or bowl that he's made.
Hello, Joy.
Good day, Joy.
Hi, Joy.
There you go, Robo.
Boy, you must have kept bad company then, Effie. I see that Jay's using another one of Amber's glass bowls. She's going to kill him one day.
That's worse than using bath towels to clean up a mess in your shop.
Yeah, good day.
Right?
Good day, John C. How are you?
Hey,
Good
John.
day. Good night. Hey, John. Charles still playing with his horses?
No, yeah,
Like the ice
he's
pigeon.
mixing it in the glass bowls. Which I have to admit is one of the best things to mix in, but
Makes the glass stronger. Yeah, that's it.
Makes it thicker too.
Right?
Yeah, I popped into Charles's thing for a little while, about an hour or two ago, and just to see he's got more patience than I tell you.
Uh-huh. He's got more patience than most of us. Joy says, I'll send Jay flowers if he lives through what she will do to him.
Yeah, that's. Gee, Joe, you're going to spend ages painting with that little brush. Hello, Amy. Haven't seen you for a while.
Hey, Amy. Long time no see.
Man.
This is as good as watching paint dry.
Yeah. Hello, who disappeared? Sarge, hit the wrong button again.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jay. As soon as they said paint dry, my screen froze. Hello, Amy.
I'm feeling pretty good, Amy. I've been spraying for the last hour or so using lacquers, so feeling no pain at the moment.
That's probably as bad as when I was doing fuel cell maintenance repairs down there in Australia with no respirator, no ventilator, no nothing.
I hope you
And
had another bloke standing by.
oh yeah, I
Yeah,
had
that's
half a
right.
dozen of them.
Yeah,
Problem was is that the flight mech was supposed to drain the pipe, and instead he filled the pipe. So as soon as I broke loose the fitting, poof,
yeah.
the dry bay filled up, and I was high as a kite. Then the bloke that was watching me, big old boy, I had to crawl backwards underneath of this air pipe, and he grabs a hold of my coverall, starts yanking on me, and the braces in the wing, they started catching in my side. I'm like, stop, I got this. I got it until I got out of the wing. As soon as that air hit me, whew, I thought
Oh,
I was
yeah.
going for a ride.
Yeah.
But it was the only time in my life that I've ever been high, is around fumes like that.
Yeah, well, many years ago, I had to spray the interior of a motorhome that I'd just finished building,
Mm.
and it was too cold outside, so we moved it inside, and I turned all the heaters and everything on. I was there by myself, and I'll answer you in a second, Lewis. And fortunately for me, a mate came along about 4 hours later and pulled me out of it. I was spraying flies with the spray gun.
Oh.
And I was kind of not of this world, you might say.
Yeah, I'd say not.
Yes, you can do that on the lathe, but it's very, very hard to get it to spin very slowly. The best thing is a rotisserie motor.
Yeah, that's what my wife uses to put the epoxy on cups and stuff, tumblers.
Yeah. All right.
That's,
What did you discover today, Joy, that made you laugh? Billy bought the lumber for the barn, not the shed. We were going to practice our building skills on. You have doubts about Billy's building skills, I take it, Joy?
So something kind of interesting today was that my uncle's funeral was broadcasted on a live from the funeral home, and it was pretty good. I mean, there wasn't an interaction like we have here, but you still got to see everything that you would want to see if you were
Yeah.
right there, and that was cool. I mean, under the circumstances.
Yeah, I think that might be just about a thing of the future soon, that funerals will be done that way.
Yeah.
Boy, not making light of it, but it sure saves on the catering costs.
Well, yeah.
Well, travel too.
Oh, yeah. Especially when you got to go from the south up to the daggone Arctic tundra to where all the snow is.
Yeah. Okay, Joy. Yes, he has never built anything ever before the table. Was part one in my plan to build his confidence in himself. And did it work, Joy? That he got a little bit more confidence in himself?
Thank you, Amy. I didn't do too much today. There you go.
Sarge, about the you're tripping out because of the fumes.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it was the very first time I ever came up with cannabis. It wasn't even when I was younger, free going in the military, I didn't know about it to speak of, simply because it wasn't in the neighborhood or community I was in, at least that I was aware of. But the first detail, like within 24 hours of boots on ground there at my base that I was at Udorn, the first shirt came out and he said, "I need some volunteers," but we'd already learned what that meant.
Yeah. Don't volunteer, just get voluntold.
Yeah, I just happened to be it because he said, "Volunteers I want have to have glasses on that'll stay on under a mask." And there were 6 of us. And who here has a driver's license for a car? And we all raised our hands. Who would like to drive something a little bigger than a car? We all raised our hands. We went out with the fire department, the base fire department, and had to burn something like 40 acres of choice marijuana. Only problem was the base commander, General Bevan, just didn't understand what the direction of the wind would mean since it's blowing over the facility. Everybody was happy for hours and hours, and planes were grounded, and people just, and he could come out of his air-conditioned office, as a lot of the brass did, and had no idea what was going on. They just smelled something funny in the air and thought it was somebody burning trash, except it lasted for 3 hours. And that never got put in the record as to why planes were grounded and diverted.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that, Joy, that he got a bit of a boost in the confidence. That was the problem with our police force out here for quite a while, though, Bob, when they were sent to attend festivals and things like that, that they'd come back as high as kites. They had to be relieved of duty. They weren't allowed to be on duty for 36 hours after being as security at pop festivals and things like that.
Yeah.
Of course, a couple of my friends used to love going out there.
Well, it was a weed. It grew everywhere in the jungles.
True.
Yep, Lewis, it does. But there's the unfortunates of life, cancer and all the other junk like it.
Yep.
So
Bit of fresh air.
I used to have girlfriends like that, Joy. I got a wife that does it now.
Well,
Joy says if I fall asleep on you guys, it's been fun. Hey, putting new lenses in your glasses too, did you, Joe?
what?
Putting you epoxy lenses in your glasses too, did you?
Well, just about need to. I'll drop them off on enough. I was doing some cementing outside today, and I put my glasses down on a chair that was next to me, and I didn't realise the chair was on a bit of a lean, and they slid off straight onto the floor, and obviously they landed like that, you know.
Oh, naturally, yeah.
But yeah, right.
It's like when you drop a chisel, it always lands on the pointed end.
Yeah.
Need to make lead handles.
Wouldn't make any difference.
Nope.
I'll be back in a sec.
No worries.
All right, guys, I'm out of here. I'm going upstairs, going to bed. So
All right.
I will see you guys tomorrow.
Good night, Blair.
Good night. Come join our meeting tomorrow if you'd like at noon Eastern.
Okay.
Yeah. Jay's hollering at you, Blair.
See you, Jay.
Bye.
Geez, Amy, I thought that was a thing of the past, doing hand sewing. My mother used to hand sew everything, and it's wasn't uncommon for every kid in our school to have patches on pants and everything. At least we're all the same. In fact, we used to compare how good people's mothers were by the patches on their clothes.
Yeah, me too.
Don't mind me.
I'm not.
All right.
You're just getting firewood ready, are you?
Yeah. Yes, mate. Yeah, smarty pants, aren't you, hey? Is this what polish does, is it?
Sorry?
Is this what you inhaling polish does, is it?
I still miss that.
Is this what inhaling polish does for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn the TV off.
And y'all into a smart ass.
Howdy, Robert.
Good day,
And
Robert.
Harry.
And Harry. Harry the hairy beaver.
Yeah, I'd say beaver, but some people get the wrong idea.
Hey, Robo, did you see that piece of root or whatever with the burl on it? They were
Yeah,
wondering if he should turn it or carve it.
yeah.
What you
He's
think?
on, I think he'll probably turn up all right. He only lives 60k down the road from me, and he's had lessons here about 3 or 4 weeks ago as well.
I figured I'd post your name on there since you are very knowledgeable on that.
Oh, is that Darren?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, look, I can make a canoe now.
Yeah, or a cooler bar or a woomera.
Yeah, I can float away.
Translate, please.
Yeah, I was waiting for that. Rightio. A cooler bar basically is like a dish made out of bark that the Aboriginals used to carry. The Aboriginal women used to carry yams and things like that in, or berries and stuff,
Yeah, that's
like
the
a
small
basket. Like a basket.
Okay.
A woomera was bent into a boat shape that came to a point at one end with a spike in it that they used to seat their spears into. And it gave them about 3 or 4 feet long. And it gave them more throwing and more accuracy when they were throwing a spear.
And also, it's a town in South Australia. Just to confuse things.
Sorry, what was that?
I said it's also a town in Australia.
Oh, yeah, well, that's right. Yeah,
Just to
Woomera is,
confuse.
yeah. Woomera is actually a town in South Australia that is our Australian Space Agency, basically. They develop the rockets and things out there. Okay.
Hodge, Robert, if you want to put in your Premiere link, you can. I'm just going to mute this for a sec.
Yeah.
No, if it's at 8:30 Central, it should be only an hour's difference, so it should be 9:30 Eastern.
All right, so
Yep, 9:30 Eastern.
Yeah.
I'm going to cut this in half, like that way. Which half do you like better? I personally like this half because it's got ripple going through it there, and this half's a bit plain.
Do half. Do both of them.
Oh, don't be like that. No. I was gonna cut one a little bit longer. That's all. You know.
Yeah, well, I'd do the one with the knot in it.
Yeah.
G'day, Chris.
Good day, Chris.
Woo! How you going, Chris? Got it right, Robbo.
Yeah, I had to remember.
Gold star.
And John C said, cut it into 1/3 and make 3.
No, I
Pencil
don't want to.
Geez, John, he can't count past 2.
They can't even imagine it in half. He's got to do a 2/3 and a third and not know it.
Whoops, he's back. Better shut up. Does it fit under the bandsaw, Joe, or not? Okay.
What size bandsaw you
Yeah,
got?
just be careful using round stuff on a bandsaw. It can grab. So you've got to have a really good tight fit on it. What it does is grab and spins it and then ruins a blade.
Hey, here's my bandsaw today. My brother-in-law wanted 3 corner shelves kind of floating in up against his cabinet.
Oh,
He wanted the front edge kind of curved. So I got the sides squared up and then drew a semicircle. And then I just cut it out, put it on my dish sander and sanded it.
Oh, I'd have given him a bit of paper, given him a bit of sandpaper, and said, "Here, go for that."
Now I gave him that and some sticks, and I was like, "Here you go. You paint them, you put them up."
Hasn't got a miter saw, John.
Night, Joy.
See you
Good
later,
night,
Joy.
Joy.
Thanks for coming in.
Now, what are you making today, Joe?
I'm seeing the smarty pants.
A goblet maybe. I don't know. We'll see how hard the wood is and how much I can be bothered doing.
G'day, Eva.
Howdy, cat.
How you going, Eva?
John, he's got a chainsaw, yes, but the rest of it, and he's got a handsaw as well, but none of the others.
Oh yeah, you ain't got a scroll sight yet, and besides, that's too big anyways.
I'm getting another shed. It'll fit nice. Don't worry.
No, I'm talking about the thickness of the log. It's too big for a normal scroll saw.
Yeah.
Plus we'd be here all night waiting for you to try to get a straight line across there. and I'm saying that because it would take me that long to do the same
thing. I'll let you off then, all right?
The beginner woodworker, John.
Or a broke one.
Yeah, that too.
That one.
Yeah,
that's the one.
Dead on the money. I wouldn't call it broke. I'd say just always got no money.
And that could be it could be also phrased, but inappropriately, a married one.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got to have that new mixer.
Yeah, I got lucky when I got all my tools in my shop. That it was either that or the guy was going to pretty much send them off for pennies. And I had nothing in my shop, and I had the money, so I went ahead and got all the tools. Now it's a matter of getting them all together and working.
Geez, I know these bloody scroll saws are getting a bit cheeky, Jay. John C. said, "Oh, right, he's a turner."
John, read between the lines, huh?
Lewis says sometimes turners have more tools than woodworkers. Yeah, but it depends on what type of tools that they are. Because I know y'all got chisels and stuff like that, one sort or another. And we got more saws, usually.
Yeah.
Of one sort or another.
I'm fairly lucky. I've got a fully equipped workshop. I very rarely have to do anything outside. send anything outside except for the sharpening of the big blades and that.
Hello, Amber.
Good day, Amber.
She's like, sorry, I'm not here today. So,
Are you ever?
no. You can't understand my accent, John. Sometimes ditto, to be honest.
Kat says, it's impressive you still going by the old system when the wife stays home and the dad works for providing.
Who does?
That's what Kat says.
Yeah, no, Jay stays at home as well. I'll let him explain if he wants to.
No, you ain't got to explain to me nothing.
Huh?
And Robert says, I've got a router table that is literally just taking up space that I think I might want to sell. Need space for logs.
Effie, that's not surprising, actually. Effie says, my son is a carpenter, 2 sheds of tools and cannot build a bookcase. Carpenters weren't used to doing cabinet work. That was the problem. It was a totally different trade.
And Kat says, but here you need more like filthy rich for a woman to stay home or both works and use daycare for kids, which you pay for depending on your income.
Yeah, sometimes the wife's income goes all on bloody daycare out in Australia.
Yeah, same here too.
Sounds like the wheelie bin's being emptied, doesn't it?
Okay, Kat. Quan, you be silly. It's okay. I have Klondike says, I have 3 pieces of equipment bought for my shop, but can't get them picked up because of COVID. And Kat says, laugh out loud. You don't need to read all I say, monkey butt. Effie says, he builds houses.
Yeah.
John says,
different building houses to them making furniture sometimes.
oh, yeah, there's even different ones in there.
You imagine a person roughing in a house, being able to do fine cabinetry.
Right. I mean, there are some that can. There's always that exception. But usually you got your rough carpenters, and you got your finish carpenters, and you got your framing carpenters for doing the concrete and all that other stuff.
Yep.
So
it's same in Australia.
Yeah. And John C. says, Lewis, just have to skip the dishes, pick them up, and deliver.
What are the last 3 pieces of equipment, Klondike? Lewis? Curious now.
Or waiting. Kat says here it's the county that have to offer daycare. It's law. Shoot, I wish I was here too, but it's not. Chris says, up till May 2020, all my tools were rough carpentry tools. Effie says, just 2 by 8 a square. I build a bookcase.
Yeah.
Just 2 by 8 and a square.
That must have been a very sharp square.
Lewis says a floor-mounted oscillating spindle sander, a 5/8 tilting head mortiser, Excalibur scroll saw.
Oh, very nice. I don't have an
Yeah,
oscillating. I don't have an oscillating spindle sander, but I've got spindle sanders. And for a while there, my spindle molder was running hot for about 6 months while I was doing various moldings and things for stuff. All right, see you later. See you
See ya,
later,
Cat.
Cat. See you, Eva.
Yep.
Yeah, the whole thing with the monkey and cat and all that was when I first started getting on Charles's videos. I was in the chat, and instead of saying engine monkey when I was on YouTube, she just called me monkey. John says I need a mortiser next. Effie says Home Depot cut boards. I bought nails. Yeah, sometimes at Home Depot, Lowe's, you can get them to actually cut your material to a rough size. You just got to square it up and put it together. But sometimes you can't even get a person to do any work around those places.
Yeah, well, that sounds like Bunnings out here.
Yeah, I picked up a 4x8 sheet of some sort of plywood, and all I I basically got a ute. I got the Ford Sport Track, and it's got
Oh
like
yeah,
a 4-foot box on the back, so it's kind of like
yeah,
your ute.
yeah.
And
What we call twin cabs out here.
yeah, it's a
Yeah,
twin cab ute basically.
Not
But
sure.
man, I couldn't get anybody to cut that sheet in half.
yeah.
So I ended up dragging it out there on the cart after I paid for it, shoved it in there myself, strapped it down, put a little flag on the back, and said, "The hell with it, I'm going."
Well, any real wood turner's probably ultimate dream if they're near a woods is a sawmill. I know we have a member of our club got one, and that's how we keep our lumber supply up for the club members.
You know, all my stuff is most of my stuff is commercial. It's all machined and everything else. I do have all the machining capabilities myself, but I buy or my customers supply most of the timber anyway, and it's all machined to size. So not cut to length, but machined to size.
I think that'd be expected, but I know with our club we have several friends that are very, very active in our club that work for wood yards, county operated wood yards.
Yep.
Where all the wood goes, well, from the arborists. They just don't grind it all up if it's a good wood. And because the counties have found they can sell it. And it's nothing for us to haul our unit out and hook it up. And one of our members' unit, and we'll go out there and we'll spend an 8-hour day. Coffee, tons of donuts, and get what kind of wood we want and the size blanks we want, pre-cut. And in some cases, there are members that'll load it in their pickup and take it to your house too. But they also turn around and sell it to other clubs that need it, that want to be able to get wood.
This is just taking me a little bit longer to get mounted than I thought, so I'm getting there, I think.
No worries. Do we miss anybody in the chat? I have no.
No.
Mute.
I got 2 out of the 4 spikes in.
It doesn't matter, Jay. It'll be right.
The 2 are on the same side. It's not opposite sides or anything.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, it's bloody hard. I even had to drill a hole into it a little bit so I could get the drive spur into it. Otherwise, it was just bouncing out.
Was it kind of gummy?
No,
Is the inside kind of gummy or
it's just bloody hard.
no?
Rock hard.
Rock hard.
And it might, your drive spur is probably getting a bit blunt on the ends too.
Yeah, probably, eh?
We take a file to
Actually, you use a grinder.
them. Grandson's here and he still ain't going to sleep yet.
Well, when you want them to, they won't.
Right. And most of the time when he's here by himself, you know, the house isn't full of a bunch of other kids and whatnot, he's out like a lot. Throw him in his bed and he's out. What you doing, Ma?
Want to see Papa talking? Look, Papa's talking. Talking to them. What? Want you, Mama?
Lewis says, I'm going to try to double dye some ironwood. Any advice?
Just suck it and see, Klondike. That's
People in
The only thing I would do advice is to heat the wood up. That way it'll soak in better.
the maternal instincts are coming out, are they, Amy? Yeah, listening to us will send him to sleep, that's for sure.
Maybe we need to turn up your music, Robo, and I'll put my earphones on them.
Yeah.
Are you watching me?
Oh, yeah. That reminded me too. I got a message. The Live AU page got a message from Facebook,
Hi.
and one of the videos that I had up, I didn't.
Hi.
They cut out parts of one of the videos because it had music playing in the background. They cut out 30 seconds here and 30 seconds there every now and then. It's constantly playing. I don't know why they just cut out 30 seconds, but who knows? I don't really care, to be honest. It was just odd that Facebook brought that up. So
Yeah.
No,
I mean,
what are you
it's
supposed
anyway.
What are you supposed to do? Just mute everything in the around you?
Yeah.
So
Well,
all they hear is your tools and your mouth.
you got to have music in the workshop, don't you?
Oh yeah.
I'm taking it works for you every night, Chris, on the fact that listening to everybody talking. There, can you see yourself on the screen, little fella? Hello.
Wave at him. Wave at him.
He just nods his head.
Yeah. You're on TV. On the computer. They should go out here in a little bit. Look, Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Oh wait, wrong one. The top one's Santa Claus.
Ho, ho, ho.
See? Yeah, Lewis says he shuts off his radio when he's recording so he don't get YouTube police on him.
Yeah.
And then Chris says, I listen on headphones while working so Mike doesn't pick up the music.
I think the music that's playing in the background now is well and truly out of copyright anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, it's back when they started using phonographs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean anything anymore because now, depending upon what country you're in, they have performance rights for the group
Yeah.
that performed it. And if it's a modern group playing old music, they can still cut it.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Good night. Good afternoon, Amy. Take it easy.
Yep. See you later, Amy. The
Thanks for
grandson
coming,
here
Amy.
is 2.
Sorry?
I said the grandson's 2.
Nice.
Somebody, Lewis had asked. Meow. Is that a meow?
Yeah. Okay.
What's amazing is that kids that age up to probably mid-3, when they hit in their teens, they can't remember a thing of what went on in their life at that time in their life. That memory wasn't stored. Even if you bring pictures out and that, they recognize themselves, but you ask, where were you? And they might not even recognize the background
All right.
or the people they were with.
Lewis says most classical is not copyrighted anymore. And he says,
Yeah.
that's nice, Sarge. We don't have any little ones around, and it sucks.
I must admit, I can remember back until I was 3 years old, believe it or not.
Yeah, I can too.
Did you have an
before that?
incident that
Sorry,
sticks in
sorry,
your
Bob.
mind? Do you have an incident that stands out?
No, not really. I a couple where I fell off things and this and that and put more scars in my head that were added to overloaded years. But
Because most of the stuff's incident related stories.
no, I can remember my dad building our house, which he started building that when I was 2.
I figure that's what he's looking for.
To answer your previous question, Klondike, yeah, I used to be pretty good at reading the stories and that to the kids because I'd act them out.
I could see you doing it too.
Like I used to love Little Red Riding Hood. I'd have the part of the wolf and frighten hell out of them, you know.
All right, Lewis. Have a good time. Good night.
Yeah.
Good night, Lewis. You take it easy.
Yep.
See you later, Lewis. Thanks for coming in.
right?
Yeah, both my girls, they had their friends over, cousins or whatever, and I was thinking, man, I need my buddy here. So he come over, and then Brooklyn took off with him, spent all day with him.
Oh,
Like,
well.
okay, I'm going to the shop.
Look, Herb. He just wants my marshmallows.
He don't want the cereal, he just wants the marshmallows.
Yep.
What are you doing? What?
Hello, you handsome devil, you.
I figured I'd wait and keep my mouth shut until you said something.
Let's see this. Go eat it that way. We have 2 marshmallows. That's drop one.
I think the way from the way you came in there, Dark, you've been lurking in the background for quite a while.
Just this, Daddy. Just this.
Mm.
That's what it is.
I tricked him, honey. You don't trust it.
Oh, what a stinker.
What chisel are you using there, Jay?
My marshmallows.
Bowl gouge.
Don't you like that one?
Sorry?
Don't you like that one?
No, why not? Now that you've got the knot out of it, why not just use a rough-and gouge?
Look, Herb.
Oh, because I went to use a roughing gouge on a piece similar like this the other day. And you're like,
No, that's because it had about 4 or 5 knots in it. And roughing gouges don't like cutting end grain much.
Hey.
But now that you've got rid of it, just go for it.
Dang, looks like Robert scored big today.
It certainly does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just picked up a bunch of free walnut blanks from a fellow wood turner that is moving to a smaller shop.
Doc says use a 1/3 inch round nose skew gouge.
Yeah, my marshmallows. What you gonna do when they eat them?
Is that going to be your top there, Jay? If it is, you need the tendon on the other end.
I was going to have the knot at the bottom.
Oh, all right. It's up to you.
Why?
I don't know. I thought you were going to make the knot.
Is that end going to stuff up the goblet?
Well, yeah, I think so. You can always make this base smaller than the top, but
All right, I'll do that then.
No, he made that end too small. Now he's got to glue all those chips back on there.
yeah.
It's always easier to take more wood away than it is to put more wood back.
I'm surprised that Robo doesn't have him doing it with his skew. I mean, once you get the bark off, that's all a roughing gouge is for.
Oh, I just keep adding containers in the backyard, Robert. Robert was saying he's to the point now where I've got to be picky with what wood I get because I'm running out of space. I just bought a heap of red gum burl yesterday, actually.
You gotta wait. You gotta wait.
Yeah, don't make it too thin down there, Jay, or you run into trouble when you go to hollow out the top.
Are you happy now?
What's going on there, Jamison? Thought you said you weren't coming in today.
No, you said 45 hours from now.
Oh, did I? Oh,
Yeah.
no, I said
That's why I said I'll see you Monday.
I said 40. No, I said 45 dash hour. So 45 minutes to an hour.
Right. Probably misread it. I'm not surprised.
That's why I didn't think you were coming in today.
No, I was just sitting around waiting on somebody.
Sorry.
No worries.
Who are you waiting for? Me?
Yeah.
Oh, what? I'm not sorry now.
Now, like I said, this one here is more laid back and more educational. The only time it ever gets exciting is when something's about to go awry and somebody hollers at you, or hollers at Joe or somebody else.
Who'd do that?
Yeah, you should have been here the other day. He had to say something to me, and he said it really nicely, and I said, "Nah, you haven't yelled at me for ages. Yell it at me."
So I did.
Yeah.
You're going to have to cut that small one off there, Joe.
Yeah. It had the drive spur on it, and I didn't want to go down too close to it, since it was so
that's all right.
Get on it anyway.
Dark says this new shop smaller than a wombat. Poo
Yeah.
cube.
They must drink their milk out of their bowl.
How do you say that?
Well, Sarge, did you get in your shop today to do anything?
Yeah, all I did was I cut 3 corner shelves. That was all I got done today. So I ended up using my Krig jig to cut blanks, and then the bandsaw to cut the curve, and the router to round over the edge. And every time I turn around, somebody's wanting. It's just cool. It keeps me busy, keeps me occupied.
Keeps you productive and feeling you're doing something too.
Yeah,
That's something is the biggest problem of crime right now during the lockdown is that a lot of people feel that they can't do anything.
right. That's
You
probably why.
gotta keep
Go ahead.
you got to keep yourself busy doing something or planning on something, and that's the only way you can put up with it. I know that was something I learned the hard way as a POW because we weren't allowed to talk to each other when we worked in the fields.
Yep. That's probably why before the COVID and everything, both my parents, even after they retired, they both work. You know, because they got no other hobbies. It's either that or go to the shows in Branson, pay to get in. So instead, they decided to work at the shows instead. So they make money and they watch the shows.
Yep.
And get discounts on the strip. But then today, well, my stepdad, he was working at the shows until the shows ended for the season. And then my mom, she works at Walmart. Today I found out my stepdad's got tested positive for COVID. I was like, good grief.
Yes, you're right, Chris. You get ideas from everywhere. Actually, like I love going through museums and looking at artifacts from particularly the Greek and Roman era because they're the classic shapes of everything. So, and even chemist shops or supermarkets with the perfume bottles. Some of them are really good looking bottles too.
About 6 years ago, one of my students I had when I was teaching at the tech shop, father passed away, natural causes, but he was in his 90s.
Wow.
And nobody that he knew, that talking about my student, or the family knew that did anything with wood. But his father was an architect, and so was his grandfather. And they had woodmen designing a lot of buildings in the 20s and 30s. And they had all their books and it really surprised me. I got some books given to me of their collection where the whole book, the first chapter was doors and door frames. That's all it was. All the trim, everything to go with it, different style doors. And there was another chapter on arches. And this was the 6-piece encyclopedia. They didn't call it that, but it was their pattern books.
Yeah.
And that's all it was pictures with the name, the Greek name of what the picture was, the style of door, the style of trim. And they went all the way down to every type of molding you could think of. And they had numbers next to them, a letter and a number. And it took me a while to figure out that that's how they explained it on their blueprint. So what the wood should look like.
Yep. Just put me on the full screen for a minute, Jay. Hello, somebody's got a microphone or a thing on.
I guess no one's watching my screen because I was just about to start drilling.
Yeah, no, I was watching your screen.
Yes, Robo, that's it.
Hundreds of them.
Yeah,
Wow.
and they got the whole encyclopedia, it's like 30 books. But they were Masons.
Yeah,
32nd degree Masons. So these books, I
Okay,
understand.
Jay, sorry.
These books, I was told, were considered highly secret, and they weren't to be loaned out or shown to anybody unless you belonged to the Masonic Lodge and had to be at a certain level. But he said that according to his father, that they gave up on all that stuff because it's all in libraries anywhere in the world now anyway.
that's
But when he
right.
got his, he had to work for him, and that was part of his pay to become a master when he was in his teens.
Have you fixed that tailstock yet, Jay? No.
Get off that table.
I'm not on the table.
Robo said he's not on the table.
Sorry, I couldn't resist that one, Sarge.
I know it. I know.
A little more heat here.
Yeah, Doc says Illuminati.
Illuminati.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, but it didn't register the way it's written.
Yes, I must admit that's why I get annoyed, Dr. Bob, sometimes, because people describe the things the wrong way. They don't use the correct terminology for things.
Yes.
You don't know what they're talking about half the time.
Well, my grandfather, and I remember my great-grandfather just barely as a kid, they were trained through the Masonic schools in Ireland as kids. And that was long before the public schools. So if you wanted to learn a trade, you were sponsored into their school.
Got enough. I'm honestly, I'm over this shit. I'm done.
What's up, Jay?
I said, I've had enough. I'm over it.
Why? What's wrong?
Nothing. It just came out of the chuck. And the tailstocks, for the better part of the word,
Too tight.
well,
Yeah.
fudge or pissing me
make
off.
it.
I don't know. The myriad of words we could pick on I would have shown, but I'm over
Chris.
it at the moment. I've had enough.
Oh, best to stop. Chris. Yeah. Chris says, I had to look and see if I was on the table for a minute.
Yep.
It sure came through loud and clear. Many years ago, 5 years ago to be precise, I went to see my mum, and she just cooked a whole batch of Anzac biscuits. Now, Anzac biscuits are an Australian thing. They're oatmeal with honey and not honey, sorry, golden syrup in them. And the reason I've got their name is that they were sent to the troops overseas because they keep very, very well, right, during the Second World War. So they're called Anzacs. They are as hard as the hobs of hell in most cases. And I love them when they come out of the oven because they're still soft. Anyway, Mum had a tray. She'd just taken virtually out of the oven and was sitting on the kitchen table. And I walked in, headed straight for the table, and just as I put my hand out to go to get it, the fly swatter, whack, across the back of my hand. I have told you 100 times not to do that. I turned around to my mother and I said, Mum, I'm 65 years old. She said, I saw this boy coming up the driveway and I knew exactly what that kid was going to do as soon as he walked in the door. So she was prepared.
Right.
You must be talking about somebody else, Dark. You know another Robbo, do you? But no, it's funny. I don't know about you, Sarge, but when you find yourself yelling at your kids about something, and you stop mid-sentence because suddenly it's your father yelling at you.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've caught myself. And the other fun one is when you're wanting to holler at one kid and you have to go through a whole list of names before you get to that kid.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't even have a big family, but I'll call the nieces and nephews and everybody else. Same with the dogs, too.
I got three kids, daughter and two sons. And I know that, Dark. Quite often I went through the whole lot of them. Jody, Andrew, Matthew. Right. You lot.
Right. Yep. I got three. I got just the opposite of you. I got two daughters and a son.
Oh, yeah. Well, my daughter was the first girl born on our side of the family for 200 years.
Wow.
So she got spoiled rotten.
Right.
By my parents and grandparents and everything.
Yeah. Well, I was hoping for a son like most guys do, because it's just me and my brother, and nobody to carry on the last name. And he already had two daughters at that time, so now we all got daughters. We're like, oh well.
And then my son had three girls.
Yeah.
You can keep picking on me about pens, Dark. Just don't expect me to make one. That's all.
Yeah, maybe one that he wouldn't be able to fit in his pocket. He needed a semi trailer to carry it around with him.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
A 40-foot pen.
Well, one of the clubs up in North Queensland actually made a pen that was 12 feet long.
Wow.
And it had all the chrome bits and everything on it, the nibs and everything.
Wow.
It was a fantastic job. It's in the museum. It's in the museum of the town now.
Huh.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
You still there, Joe?
You're supposed to throw it in the trash.
Maybe he went in for a cup of tea.
There he is.
There he is.
Yeah, they're the easiest to make dark. Just a big refill and whack it in the bottom.
Grandpa.
Here, you want this one?
You've got a bloke here that makes just out of twigs. He just gets a twig, puts it in the lathe, drills a 316 hole in it, and whacks it, just tapers it down to the point, and sort of rough sands them off, and they go like hotcakes. At the other end of the scale, I've got a friend that works under a staircase, Nathan. He makes $500 pens, and minimum purchase order is 10.
10 pens?
Yeah. He supplies corporate. Whoa! He supplies corporate gifts to big companies in the States and Japan and all over Europe.
I'm going to knock it on the head, I reckon.
Okay, no worries, Joe. Your call.
Yep,
Yep.
catch you tomorrow.
You can stay here and talk if you want, but I'm going inside.
No, I've got to finish. I've got to roll the tray over now and spray the top of it. So I'll be doing that shortly.
Yeah.
So
I need
see
it.
you later. See you later, Dr. Bob. See you, Sarge. See you,
Yep.
Sid. Dark.
Yep. Have a good night.
Chris. And Effie, if you're still in there.